This time, we are going to review the work of Group 1. So, this is the work of Group 1, I already checked each of number. So, I will read again the direction. Connect the solid column A with its opposite size in column B. So, this activity helps you to learn about solid by matching objects based on their shape, color, size, and texture. It encourages you to observe and manage how objects look and feel, helping you to understand different properties. So I have three questions each, especially for those Group 1. So, for Group 1, what are 4 properties used to match the object in this activity? Correct, which is the size of the object. So for number 2, how does the activity helps you to learn about solid? Who wants to answer? Especially Group 1. Yes. By encouraging observation and imagination of how object looks and feel, thus aiding in understanding their difference. Thank you. For number 3, what cognitive skills this activity encourage you to use while observing matching object? What's the answer? Yes. By observing and imagining. Thank you. So let's proceed to Group 2. So this is the work of Group 2. I will read the direction. Mark, check if the object is hard, and X if the object is soft. So this activity, you're describing the solid object like teddy bear, rock, and towel. No, this is the example of those objects. So focusing on their texture and learn about different properties. So this time, I have 3 questions. What solid object will you describe in these activities? Who wants to answer? Especially Group 2. Yes. The ball, teddy bear, rock, wine glass, and towel and plate. So very good. Very good. So number 2. Which properties of solid objects will you focus while describing them? So the answer is the texture. Kay bitakod man the hard and the soft. So we focus in texture only. So how this number 3 question? How does describing solid objects help you to learn about their object properties? By focusing on their shape, by focusing their texture. So, also Group 2 got 5 perfect in this activity. And let's give a round of applause and hep correct for Group 2. So, 1, 2, 3, hep, correct. Very good, Group 2. So this is the work of Group 3. I will read the direction, and Group 3 already answered, and I already checked the work of Group 3. By this time, we are reviewing the Group 3's activities. So mark, check if the object is rough, and X if the object is smooth. So this time, this activity helps you to learn learn about solid by describing their roughness and smoothness. So you mark check if the object is rough, and X is if the object is smooth. For example, this rock, what do you feel? What do you feel if you hold the rock? It is rough. It's very good. So you explore the different objects and imagine how they feel and measure them to understand their properties better. So I have a question for the group 3. Only 3. So besides describing what other method used in this activity to help you to understand the properties solid. So yes, by measuring the object. Very good. Number 2, what is specific aspect of solid are explored when describing them in this activity? The texture. Thank you. By texture is the roughness and smoothness of the object by measuring. So number 3, how does imagining objects feel contribute to understand their properties in this activity? So what's the answer? How does the object feels contribute to understand their properties in this activity? So the answer is yes. It helps you to understand the text and tackle and qualities of object, especially no kay ano man nato or ma-feel nato when we touch it. If rough ba siya or smooth. So overall, group 3 got 5 points. So give hep hep hooray to group 3. Or Tito go. Hep hep, correct. Very good. The observable physical properties of solid materials include the first what? Shape, very good. Color, size, and texture, which can be identified through visual observation, especially no kay we are observing a object, kay we are describing the physical properties of solid materials. So through visual observation and tactile sensation. So I have a question. What are the 4 main physical properties of solid materials? So obviously the shape, color, size, and texture. So which sense primarily identified of the solid material? So what sense when we observe or identify the shape? When we observe a shape, what the primary sense to identify as solid materials? For shape, it is pwede siya a sense of touch. Sense of touch. Or sense of sight. pa, if mo identify ta og a shape, what sense unsa atong gamiton nga sense? Pwede si touch, pwede si sight, and sa pa, smell? Dili. Pwede ba si pwede ba sa smell? No. Obviously, it's a touch of light. How about the color? Unsa man if mo sense ta og color, what sense of that? It is a sense of sight. Obvious, no? Si sight yun na kay we are going to see man kung sa siya na color. So ato ang gamiton kay mata. If maadto ka og kanang traffic lights, if naa ka sa road, for example, giatod ka sa imong papa sa school, then the traffic light must go red. So si papa kabalo siya og unsay meaning sa red, it because naa siya meaning kay ang meaning sa red is stop and the green is go. So si papa nimo, if green ang light, mas technically mo stop gyud na siya kay the meaning of the red is stop. So obvious si color kay slide. Pwede ba siya sa touch? If you ma-identify ba nato ang usa ka object, ang usa ka color, if mo base ta og color, pwede ba nato siya ma-touch? So dili. How about smell? Pwede ba nato ma-smell if ever nga ang objects kay na color and then atong smell? Pwede ba? No. Nag-focus lang din siya sa ato ang mata. So how about the size? So para ma-identify nato sa size, kung unsa siya nga size, unsa man atong gamiton nga sense of mga primary sense atong i-use. What's the answer? Yes, sense of touch. Correct. Unsa pa? Sense of smell ba? Yes, sense of sight na po. Yung makita. Obviously, makita mo ginato ang differences if mo compare tag usa ka object which is we primarily discuss the sense of slide, especially sa touch, no, and slide. So for example, na usa ka apple and then usa ka apple nga gamay. So when we look each apple, masense gyud nato kung kinsay gamay and kinsay dako. And if i-touch to nato, we feel pod nga kinsay bigger and smaller nilang duha, which is the obvious answer of this sense, the sense of touch and sight. How about the texture? So for texture is the sense of touch. Pwede ba siya sa sight? Pwede ba i-sight ang usa ka object na or identify natin siya kung saan siya or hard ba siya, soft ba siya, rough ba siya, or soft or smooth. Pwede man nato? Yes, pwede nato sa touch. When you hold it, So, for example, sa durian, if na-touch ka sa durian, and you feel rough. So, which is, naka-identify ka sa usa ka durian nga rough siya kay with you touch, you observe the sense or you choose the sense of touch. So, how can you determine the solid objects? Of course, observe and observe. Look at the object carefully. So, kung observe ka usa ka things o usa ka object, you must observe and look the object carefully. How about number? Oh, who wants to answer? Touch. Yes. Feel the objects to understand its texture and hardness. So when you hold it, no, dapat na kay sense nga hard ba na siya or soft ba na siya kay you touch the object. Another one is consider. Think about its properties like shape and color and size. So when you observe and you touch, no, kailangan nimo i-consider ilang mga properties and decide based on the observers determine what the object is. So that's all, no? If